What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PixelPlay Podcast. My name is Adam, aka CS Radical, joined as always by my co-host Jin and Chris, and nobody else.
Nope.
That's it. There's never a third. It's all smoke and mirrors. We've just been, Chris has done a really fantastic impression for the last little while.
Yeah, it's weird that we always, even though there's only ever been two of us on this show, that we've always had that third box there. Like, you'd think we would have just been two thumbnails of our webcams. It's weird. We've always had that third, especially since we named that thumbnail box Kaylan.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I don't know. It may just be some guy that ditched us because he's sick. Oh no, who told me to get sick days on this? I don't believe we put this in the schedule. We have vacation days. Don't get me wrong. We got vacation days. I don't know if we got sick days though.
They might be unpaid sick days.
Oh, okay.
That could be it.
You know what? That's true. We might have to talk about that. But either way, Kaylan not here this week, so you were stuck with us. Unfortunately, I am apologizing for you. You're always stuck with me, though. I'm always here, it seems, so you never have to worry about that. I think I've missed out of, we're almost at 150 now. I'm pretty sure I've missed maybe 2. And
I think you missed 2.
Technically, those I'm still there because I'm the one who records the show, so I'm still technically there in some aspect. So, really, I've never missed a show.
I actually remember the one where you were sick, but you couldn't help yourself but still chime in about something. I can't remember what it was. I think Kaylan was riffing on you, and you just had to come in.
Yeah, it was probably something
hey,
stupid,
wait.
And I had, my wireless headphones on, so I ran back into the other room and be like, don't you dare.
Well, Adam, what have you been up to? What have you been playing?
I don't know.
Since I probably know what it is.
Probably just, the things that, I've been doing for the last little while. Helldivers, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, it's the same old shit. I'm pretty sure I'm finally in the home stretch. I'm just over 60 hours and change in. I know I must be getting close because I'm now at the point where they're not officially in the party, fighting per se, but everybody's here now. Vincent's here, Sid's here. We're all at least now in the same room together, but we're not all fighting yet. And they've also taken the entire map, and now there are new side quests in every part of the world map. You can go do some more stuff, and it kind of gives me the impression that's okay, we're probably getting there now, because now we've seemed to have stopped opening new world maps. It's just you might be going to a new dungeon soon, like with the Cetra Temple or whatever it's called in the original game. But that's where I'm at. So now I'm doing what everybody does, which is everything else but the story, because there's no goddamn way I'm risking it. So you'll be happy. I've completely finished the card game. Queen's Blood is completely done.
Oh, I'm jealous. But also then I still get to play it, so maybe I'm less jealous.
And also I'm sad because it's done.
Yeah.
But apparently there's a thing going around that they may actually consider doing a mobile game or something like that of it. I don't know if that would still get my attention because I don't really play mobile games, but hey, I'll take any excuse to pop in and play some more Queen's Blood if I can, but...
Oh, 100%.
Because honestly, now that I've finished, I think I like it better than Triple Triumph. Not because I think it's a better card game, only because there's no bullshit you lose a card if you lose, or there's regional rules. It's always the same. So it's always the same card game. You don't have to worry about losing shit. You just, if you know you're losing, you restart, you try again, and you keep going until eventually you're like, all right, I finally fucked it. I finally got through. We're good. Good. And there were a couple of times where I had to do it more than 5 times because I was being stubborn, and I go, no, this deck can make it work. I don't need to change anything. I just need the right run. Eventually it works. Because sometimes the AI also decides to really make some stupid decisions, and you're like, all right, fine, I'll clean that up. No problem. I can take the gimme.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed while playing Queen's Blood. I haven't played too much, but I did the side quest where you can get your first rare card, the Chocobo Moogle one or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Very triple triad-y, where it's like getting the rare card by beating somebody. I love it. Yeah, a guy was handing me my own butt, oh my God, crazy. And then all of a sudden I played again and I won 26-0. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I've learned very quickly. I've tried some websites where they show what their best deck is. So I tried a couple of them just to try it out. I still found that my best strategy is bulk up on low cost cards that can cover as much of the board as possible, and just extend and extend and extend until basically they have at most the 2 columns to their side and you have 3. because there's 15 spots on the entire table. So if you have 9 monsters over 6, generally you're probably going to win just because they can't play that much. And then after I've got all the spaces down, then I start playing cards that like the Chocobo and Moogle, where anytime something gets raised, they get extra points. The Ifrit summon has a similar thing where it gets like a bonus for every card on the field that has a bonus to it. So you can get some absurd stuff. And there are also cards that if you manage to win that row, you get a bonus amount of points. So I have one, for example, that if I win that lane, it gives me an extra 5 points on top of what I already won. So
wow.
So basically my strategy is overflow the board so I control most of it, and then just cheat my way through by just saying, hey, I'm going to win this one row and take everything.
Nice.
And it usually works.
Yeah.
All I did was just fine tune a couple of cards here and there, and by the time that it was done, like still half of that deck was the same as it started. It's just, you just put a card here, you put another card there, something just kind of does the job a little bit better from the card that you already had in there. But like the core stayed the same. It was just, I'm going to just take everything from you, so even if you play your best stuff, you still can't win.
Smart. I love that card game. It's so triple triad-y to me. I'm getting the same like feeling that I used to get back in FF8, or every time I replay it, like, oh, so good.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
good.
And it's definitely at the point too that, I've seen a lot of people complain that the mini games are a little too much. I'm of the opposite because I like Yakuza games, so I'm used to there being way too many mini games.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Chocobo Racing, I will say, is a little too long if you want to complete it. There are way too many races, and it is way too easy to beat it. So every race, basically, I'll be except one because it was challenging enough that I kept screwing myself over. I still won it, but it wasn't as easy. But every other race was, by the time it's the second half of the second lap, I'm already 10 seconds ahead, and the only way that I lose is if I screw up. Well, by that point, I figured out the track. It's not going to happen. So even on my worst case, like there was one race where I was playing on Discord and streaming it, so people were watching, and I did a full 360 before the finish line, still won by like 5 seconds.
Wow.
Oh, so wow. I find that one was a little too easy and a little too long, but I won't complain regardless. But like the only complaint that I'm probably gonna end up saying it when I eventually review this, Square, I get that you were trying to do a lot of stuff in the open world. Not everything needs a button prompt. For the love of God, stop making everything a button prompt. Just let me open the fucking door, or let me pull the chain, or in the case of one side quest, don't let me wait for the men in robes to get to the point, or let me push them. Pushing them maybe saves me half a second. I don't need to spend 2 minutes waiting for these fuckers to slowly walk 20 feet to the door I already see with my own 2 eyes to open, because I know that's where I'm going to go. It's pretty obvious when there's nothing but mountains around me and one building. It's pretty obvious where I gotta go. Just let me go. You waste my time. Don't waste my time. That's what the mini games are for.
Those button prompts, even I've noticed them, and I've only just gotten into chapter 4.
Hold L2 and R2 to continue, basically.
Oh, yeah, like, or it's just like you'll find like some of the collectibles around the world map, like the life spring or whatever, like there's the different things.
Having to do and 3 sets of at least with the
why
summon
do I have
ones.
triangle 3 times?
At least with the summon ones, it's a combination that you have to remember. There's something to it.
Yeah.
The life spring ones are just no.
It's instead of clicking triangle once, which is how you interact with stuff in the game, it makes you interact 3 times with it. And then Chadley shows his stupid face. And it's like, oh my God.
And you skip every time now because I realize you're not giving me information. You're just saying, Cloud, I found another thing for you. Check it out here. And then it's that. It's like, or I could just skip and do anything else. Yeah. So like, this is already not going to be a 6 out of 6 game. I can already tell. No matter what the story does, I have to nitpick so much about that I can't not at least dock off a half point. So at this time, it's going to get a 5.5 at its best. There's no way I can give this a 6 in confidence anymore because it's pissed me off so many times with these little things. So I can't with any sort of like honesty say it's the best possible thing that it can be, because there are so many decisions that Square's like, you know what? We need you to really feel like you're opening that door. To which we go, yeah, that's what a cutscene's for. We figured this out like 20 years ago. Can we not? I don't
Yeah,
even think in
like,
Final Fantasy X that was a thing. I think it just did a cutscene.
yeah. Final Fantasy X, I feel like, was the annoying thing where if you got too close to the door, it assumed you wanted to walk through it, and then it would do that like quick little loading of the door opening and thing for like 3 seconds, so the game would have a chance to load the interior of where you're going, and then you're like, I didn't want to go in there. I walked too close to the door. I feel like it was that one.
But aside from that, I still fucking love this game. It's still amazing. Everything is just making me smile. Like it's at a point now that now I know this is how I also know I'm in the second half. The sadness is starting to creep in. There's a couple of moments where I'm like, no, I was enjoying this. Don't make me depressed now. But like, again, I think I said it in our first impressions. I love that Yuffie is basically becoming like the icebreaker in this game, and it can, and like the theme that's, you know how like there's always like a few tropes, especially in anime, like the whole thing. If you talk behind somebody's back, they sneeze, sort of deal, or things like that. Yuffie, literally every single time you do any sort of cutscene for the first time for something new in terms of travel, whether it's, you know, like a cruise ship, whether it's the tiny Bronco, which does eventually come up because of course it has to show up, you know, or anything, or like the first time you ride another vehicle or like anything like that. Anytime there's a new form of travel and Yuffie rides it, she immediately gets sick and has to note that she's gotten motion sick about it. And it just continues to happen, and it doesn't stop happening. It continuously gets brought up. And I'm just like, I love that her bit is that she's annoying, wants to steal materia, and needs to throw up every time she has to move slightly faster, even though she is a ninja who jumps and somersaults all over the place. But the second you put her in a car, every time. I fucking love it. And again, when you have people like Barrett and Aerith and Tifa who have their moments where there's all this sadness, and Yuffie just pops in and goes, oh yeah, but don't forget, we got to go steal a bunch of materia. And then walks off, and you're like, we were supposed to be sad now, Yuffie. Why you got to do that? But also thank you, because now I'm not sad anymore.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to play as her again once I get to that part.
And again, the voicing for everybody is great. Like,
oh yeah,
Red 13 really stands out. Also, when Red 13 turns into Nanaki, voice changes too, and it's fucking great because it catches you off balance. Because you forget that Red 13, for those that don't know the original story, this, I'm not gonna say this is a spoiler because this happens in a more than 20-year-old game now. But Red 13 goes by a different name when he goes back to his hometown, and he completely changes his attitude because he's not this, you know, lab rat that you're expecting, like this escaped lab rat. He's, you know, a pretty enthusiastic, you know, I can't remember if they call him like a wolf or a dog. Like, I'm not really sure what they specifically call him because it's been a while. But like, he's been fantastic. Matt Mercer as Vincent in the little time that I've gotten him so far, I'm just like, yeah, that's the right guy to do Vincent. There's no questioning that one.
Every time Matt Mercer does something, I'm like, oh, how did you kill this so well? Like, you've knocked this out of the park. How, man?
And then
it's
Sid,
crazy.
My only depression is that Sid hasn't told me to sit the fuck down to drink my tea yet. I'm very disappointed. It's the only thing I'm missing, but we haven't gotten there yet, so I'm waiting. Because the first thing I thought was, okay, it's too early in the game to have a swears per 60-second counter yet. I can't make that math yet because we're not at peak Sid yet. So, you know, I gotta be patient. But even like, man, like even smaller characters like Kyrie, who is voiced by the same actress who I know her from, she does Anta Takamaki from Persona 5, and it's basically just that character, but a brat bitch, and I love it. It's amazing. I'm just like, wow, this is literally the exact same thing, except I hate you. Great, I love it. Everybody does a great job. Like every small character, like again, there's not really a voice acting performance that I think like stands out as being like bad. It seems like they've done a pretty good job of putting together people that are actually passionate about what they do with it. Instead of even NPCs, like for the most part, like I can't think of one that's egregiously bad. There might be ones that are just like, because it's just like a non-important character. But the ones that have some sort of value, they bring something to the table. So it's really been an enjoyable thing all the way through.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not very far in that. I'm only, again, chapter 4. But for what I've been playing, I don't have much to add from last time. I guess I briefly mentioned this last week, but I still like Red 13 and Barrett, like the two of them and their little dynamic they going on. It makes me smile so
Yeah, where's
hard.
their
Like it's
trip on the
just,
Ferris wheel?
yeah, like I don't even want Cloud to date. Okay, I want that date. I'm working hard to get a specific person, clearly, but I want them. I just want like a sitcom of Barrett and Red 13 and like the Gold Saucer or something. Like I just need them to do their little sideshow, like their side story. That's what I need.
Yeah, I've tried my best to make things go the way that I want, but I think unless the side quests kind of tip the scales a little bit more again, it's looking very obvious that I'm going to be slapped with Aerith, and that's going to be a little depressing, knowing what could potentially be happening. Which again, at this point in the game, I know we're getting close to where things get tipped. I still have no idea, and I've avoided everything. I've somehow managed to avoid spoilers still, which is why I'm starting to freak out because I'm getting closer and closer, and I'm like, man, if I get spoiled now, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. And
Yeah.
like, because when we were last week getting, looking at footage and stuff, I noticed in the related videos on YouTube, they started suggesting me 7 videos, and I don't think anything was spoiled, but it was starting to get my attention where I'm like, no, don't you dare start putting stuff in the ether, and I immediately had to like start like stocking up my YouTube algorithm with anything else so it would just take that off my feed.
Yep.
I even
Genius.
I even had to be careful. Like I didn't want to watch because Donkey did a video on Rebirth, and I was like, should I watch this? And then I went, no, Donkey's not going to do anything. He's just going to make fun of the open world, and that's basically what he did for the
Oh
most
yeah.
part. Or he just made a bunch of jokes using Cloud's the mayor point in the original remake, where he just goes up to everybody on the Shimmer office and just keeps asking for the mayor. And there are several different points in other parts of the world map in Rebirth where somebody introduces themselves as the mayor, and he immediately splices in Cloud going, the mayor. Because of course Donkey always finds something that he can just
Oh,
play with.
Donkey.
It's
I love
amazing
that
to me.
guy. Such good videos.
But yeah, that's been
Oh,
what I've been doing apart from, just, upholding democracy as best I can in Hellblade. We have mechs now, so that's great.
oh yeah. Helldivers mechs. Give them a try. They're pretty good. For the most part, my gaming has been lighter than normal this month. Well, not necessarily lighter. I just haven't had that moment where I can sit down and really like sink my teeth into stuff. You'd think Final Fantasy VII would be all I would be doing, but just stuff has been in life, and I've only had like an hour here, an hour there, that kind of stuff. So I'm still like 7 or 8 hours in, but I'm only in chapter 4. And if you're wondering, like, how are you only in chapter 4 when it's 8 hours? I clearly cleared everything in the first world map. I did every tower, I did every battle, I did every collectible I had to.
Oh yeah, every open
Um,
world I do not touch story until I can clear everything that I can in the open world. Because in some of them later, it's obvious that you're not clearing everything right away, so you have to wait to unlock more stuff. But as soon as there's no more points on that map, okay, fine, now we can go do stuff.
oh yeah. But besides that, like today I was playing with my nephew. Shout out to my nephew. I was playing Smash Brothers for the first time in a very long time. He actually beat me a few times, so that's
Are
me
we
and him are
talking
gonna have
like
to have a
the new one
rematch.
on Switch or?
Yeah, the new one on Switch. Yeah, sorry, Smash Brothers Ultimate. What is the
Yeah, I think
name
it's
of this
Ultimate.
one? Yeah, Ultimate. Also, shout out to my nephew. I didn't know how I was going to do my little intro this morning, and if anybody noticed, I did one of these. It's because I asked him. I'm like, "How should I do my intro?" And that's what he did. And I was like, "Cool, that's what I'm going with." So there you go. But yeah, I played with him, and that was great. That was actually a lot of fun. I forgot how much fun just playing Smash Brothers is, and choosing different characters and all that kind of stuff. So I had a great time playing that with him, and can't wait to do that again. And the only other game I've really been playing because I've had very little time, um, daylight savings has messed me up so hard this time. It never has before. I don't get it. Like normally I will be a little tired one day or I'll sleep extra long one day. Every single night I've been up till 3 a.m. just wide awake, even though I get up at like 8:30 for work. So I'm getting like 5 hours a night, if that, and it's been like it's fine, but like what am I doing until 3 a.m.? Like I'm just laying there. My wife's fast asleep. So I've had my Steam Deck, and I bought Pixel. What is it? How is it called? Pixel Puzzle or Pixel Cross or something like that. It's a Picross game, but it's Pixel Piczle Cross Story of Seasons. They made a Story of Seasons Picross game. So you go and you do your pick rock puzzle. For anybody who doesn't know these, I'm addicted. First of all, I'm addicted. Go back and watch previous episodes. If I bought a pick rock game, I do all whatever puzzles.
You have many addictions that we've given up on trying to help you with.
Oh yeah, and this one I'm fully in. Like there was a Sega Genesis Picross game on Switch. I immediately got that too. Like there, if it's a subject I love, I'm like, yeah, let's go unlock some images using mining techniques or whatever the heck it's actually about. Very simple game. There's like rows and columns, and in it it'll say like 2, 3, 2, and that means there's like 2 blocks together of a 2. Then 3 blocks together as 3, and 2 blocks that are together as 2, and they can't be touching, because if they were touching, say a 2 and a 3 was together, that would actually be 5. So the idea is you have to figure out in each row and column where these are, and of course the rows and columns where they match. If it's like, oh, I think there might be a block here, but it doesn't line up. It lines up great with the row, but not the column. Clearly, that isn't the spot because it has the numbers going up and down and sideways to kind of show you like where the blocks actually are, and you have to slowly, literally chip away at it. I feel it's supposed to be like you're chipping away at stones to reveal an image. I have done like 80 of these. Yeah, perfect. Right there on screen. It's the only, like, there's no other way to describe what the heck is happening here. So sorry for my poor description, probably.
That's called me
addicted to
whenever
this.
I review a game.
Yeah, no, I'd like this is a tough game to describe. If I worked for like Nintendo Power back in the day, and I had it was Mario's Picross on Game Boy that got me addicted to this in the first place in the early '90s. If I had to describe this in Nintendo Power, I would have lost my job. Like, there's no way I could have even written this. The game is super simple. Obviously, once you figure out how to do the puzzles, they get more difficult as they get bigger, but they start off smaller to make it a little bit easier. Like sometimes it'll just be a full row of a line, and you can do that, and it really helps you out to start. Um, I am addicted to this and been playing it in bed till like 3 a.m. because I can't do anything else. There's 270 puzzles, and I've already done 90. It's very funny because the things you're unlocking are story of seasons related, meaning farming. And some of them are very funny. For example, yesterday, I had literally woke up my wife. So when I say yesterday, I mean at like 2 a.m. And it was because the image I had unlocked was an eggplant. And I was like, eggplant emoji. And then she called me an idiot and went back to bed. But it was hilarious because these images are like sometimes a barn or something like that. And then sometimes it's like, I don't know, a turnip. Like, it's all story of seasons related, and it's very cute. It's very fun. If you like Picross, I only have one complaint about this game, and it's the music. Not because the music is bad. It's all music pulled from from the Story of Seasons games. Most notably, the last 4 that they've had come out. I'm assuming that's just what after the Natsume and Marvelous or whoever owns it. Like they had to separate, and one got the name Harvest Moon, but one actually got the rights to the actual previous games and had to call them Story of Seasons. So I'm assuming that's why they've only got 4 games represented in here, because it's the ones that they've been able to make apart from Natsume. But they don't have enough songs. So when you go in to do one of these, it'll be like the spring song from Friends of Mineral Town, but it's literally like one of 6 songs you might get. And you're stuck in these puzzles sometimes for a long time. So you're just hearing the same town music or spring or autumn music on repeat over and over and over. I ended up installing Spotify on my Steam Deck so I could launch it, play music, and then launch into this Picross game and just play my own music as I played. That's the only complaint I have. It's Picross. It's not meant to do anything crazy. It's just the puzzle. I actually find it kind of cute. Every time you beat a puzzle, 1 day passes in the farm time in the game. So you start off like spring day 1, and now I'm in winter day 4 or something like that. So the background changes. The actual Picross puzzle changes. Like, it actually, in spring it looks like a normal one, but in winter all the blocks are blue and have a different tint and everything like that. Like, they try and make it like you're going through the seasons. And the more puzzles you do, the more the farm develops in the menu. So you're not doing any of the farming, but it is cute to kind of see time progress and these 2 Story of Seasons farmers, like, you know, actually work on it while you're doing the Picross puzzle. So it's very, very, very cute, but very addicting if you like Picross. If you like it, it's really, really, really good. If you don't like Picross, this is not doing anything that you're going to like. It's the same Picross you're used to with repetitive music. So if anything, I suggest turn the music off after you've done like 20 puzzles. You've heard all the soundtrack, and just put on your own music or a podcast and do it in the background. Really great also game to just do that, maybe watching YouTube or listening to us on the PixelPlay Podcast.
I mean, you could cheat on the game and just play Stardew Valley music over top of it.
Oh, that would be. Oh, I might actually do that because
I was just gonna say, I'm like, so what you're saying is you need a Stardew Valley Picross game just so you can really sink your teeth into that too.
Yes, absolutely. I won't lie. I actually on the PS5 for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I was doing the world map and I kept just hearing the world map theme. I was like, all right, it's time to put on other music. I put on Final Fantasy VII Lo-Fi. So it was just Spotify Final Fantasy VII music, but over top of already Final Fantasy VII. It was surprisingly, actually, I guess not surprisingly.
Yeah,
very
it's sad. I wish you could have a Walkman so that way you could listen to like, you know how you could collect the records in the first game. They should have had something like that so you could like have these little earbuds so you could just hear the hip hop chocobo music for the entirety of the game, and it would be great.
Yeah, yeah, that would have been cool. Like a Walkman, and then instead of albums, you collect like cassettes or something like that, and then you could listen to different songs along the way. That would be such a good addition.
Instead, you get like 6 or 7 piano pieces of music, which don't get me wrong, were good, but I'm like, but where's my hip hop chocobo theme?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I haven't been very like hardcore gaming as much as I want. Every time I do get a good like solid couple hours during the day, I will throw on Final Fantasy VII. But really, it's mostly been haven't had much time, and then I can't sleep for 3 hours at night. I go to bed at midnight, can't sleep till 3 a.m. So turn on the Steam Deck and get through a whole bunch of Picross, and oh god, I love that. It's just so good. Yeah. That's me. That's what I've been up to.
Well, I guess we could, talk about actual things instead of just. We already did gush about 7 a bunch on our side quest, last week, so I guess we can't spend the whole episode on this. I mean, you know what? For just a moment, though, I want to say, isn't it great that like Helldivers is such a fun game, and yet no one in the community seems to be happy about it at any time?
Yeah. Gamers just can't be happy.
They just put in a new patch because people were complaining about how the chargers and other things were just getting too much in the later difficulties. And now they've reduced it, and now I see another. I don't know if it's probably not the same group of people. It's just now another group is coming and be like, "Oh my god, it's too easy now. Like there's almost no challenge to it anymore." To which I'm like, "See, they should just leave the game alone and just like say, nope, this is the game, guys. Deal with it."
Yeah. Yeah, if you like it, buy our product. If you don't, go away. Because there's enough people that love that product. They're now trying to perfect it. That's the thing. It's like gamers could be 100% happy with something that maybe has like 5% annoyances, but it's still 95% good.
Like realistically, like as someone who is now level 36, I think. No, I think I'm either 34 or 36, one of the two. And I've obviously put quite a bit of time into this game to get that far. The only thing I'm honestly mad about now is really just its connections. Like it just needs to fix the connection just a little bit better. When I do friend requests, it sometimes doesn't take properly. You sometimes get stuck, waiting for friends to pop up in the menu. There are sometimes issues there. As soon as this stuff is done, they have to do something egregious to make me hate this game. Like
100%.
Because again, and this is something that I've talked about many different times on the show, but it comes back to just people have gotten so accustomed to living in this age of social media where you have to have opinions on everything, where we've forgotten that, the game being fun is far more important than anything else. And every time I see complaints about this game, I'm not saying none of them are warranted. Again, let's make that clear. I'm not saying that, the issues with spawns, with the issues with weapons being a little bit underpowered or overpowered or whatever else. All these things, like, I get it. But also, the amount of complaining that I see about this game in particular, I know it's because it's the popular one right now, so of course the most attention is going to get on that. I assume in 6 months it won't be nearly this bad. Maybe, who knows, maybe it's an even bigger game by that point, but hey, that's a 6 month down the road problem for Arrowhead. I shouldn't say problem, though. The amount of money they've probably made is insane.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good problem to have.
But like, every time I see complaints, I look at them and I go, okay, but this is still really fucking fun, right? Because, like, I feel like a lot of people, and again, this is where social media, has its curse, where no one's able to say in the same sentence, fuck this, why aren't they fixing this shit? And also going in brackets, oh, by the way, I'm still really enjoying this game. They can't really do both, apparently. So, like, there's that part of me that just keeps wanting to go, to each of these people and be like, do you like this game at all, or are you just like miserable and need to complain? Like, again, if you're having a bad day and you just need to vent, no problem. But it seems like everybody's having a bad day every fucking time they talk about this game. To which we've all collectively gone, yeah, this is annoying. This sucks. I hope they fix this soon. But goddamn, I'm having a goddamn blast playing this game.
Yeah, 100%. Like, because the thing is I feel like gamers like it when they're playing it, but then they get to the point where they're like, okay, now I'm good at this. I need to perfect it. I have to have
the
the
meta
meta build
builds or like the
and be
optimal
perfect.
things.
Yeah. And then that's when they realized, oh, the game isn't 1000% perfect. It isn't this meta build perfection where it's going to be exactly the way you want, because nothing is perfect. There is nothing. You can go and enjoy a game, and to you it feels 100% great because you're just enjoying it. And then once you expect that perfection, expect that meta build and meta gameplay, you'll find it's like, oh shoot, this is actually only 98% perfect. There's 2% here I don't like. And then that's all they can focus on, is that they can't reach
It's a
100. It
hyperfixation.
pisses them off. Yeah. And it's so annoying. Like, because when I play this game, I hop in with friends and I just love to go along for the ride. Like, I love that you and a couple other people have figured out, like, oh, I know kind of what direction to go because I know how to do, the different objectives in a great order to do them. Still having a great time. If I want, I can hop in and just follow you guys and like help you complete the objectives. And I'm not like, hey guys, let's go this way. I'm just following along. There's bugs here. I'll help kill them. Uh-oh, it's time to run away. I'll run away too. I'm going to drop a turret. Haha, they can't get us. Like, I'm just
No, the turret just
treating
gets you instead.
Oh, 100%. I've been killed by my own laser and turret more than bugs. I so annoying.
There's a
but
great
I love
meme that I saw that's like, okay, how to dodge your turrets. Okay, sentry, or the Gatling sentry. Okay, you can either go prone, you can just make sure you're not in its line of fire, or you can even sit on top of it. And then it shows the mortar sentry. Pray.
Yeah, I want to unlock that one. I want it. But yeah, like, it's a game. And it's like, the thing is, when you stop trying to make it like the meta game, it's actually just the perfect fun game, especially with other people. I played with some new people that I've met through you. I've met another couple people through other friends of mine. And it's just like the perfect, like, hey, nice to meet you. Let's shoot some bugs and like defend
It's
democracy.
insane.
It's
I
great.
legitimately have 4 separate Discords with groups of people that I can play this game with right now.
Yeah.
And that's never happened before. Like, all these Discords I've had for years on my list, no one's ever been playing the same thing all at the same time before. It's never happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
The closest I can think of is there might have been 2 Discords at one point where I could have played Destiny 2 on, and that's as close as it's ever gotten.
Yeah. The only time I've ever come close was MMOs. Final Fantasy 14, I was a part of a couple servers where there was people always on. But again, that's different. You're not logging in as a like, oh, let's team up and go do this. It's just they happen to already be in the game world. I'm going to go log in and join them in this massive world with all these other people. That and World of Warcraft, for the brief amount of time I played that, same idea. There was always kind of a couple people that were on, and it was nice being part of a community where no matter time I wanted to relate a game, there was always somebody there already kind of playing. This is definitely the first time where it's like, hey, do you want to go on? Or like, a friend's already on, hop in, join a squad and play. I always wanted this in a game because it's not like this is brand new as the concept. Hopping into a game, Call of Duty, all of those games have kind of had this where, oh, my buddy's on, I'll hop in and the two of us can play for a while. But this is the first time that I'm seeing people who even normally don't do that kind of hop in, hop out co-op gameplay with even people they're just meeting. It's the first time I'm seeing even like more casual co-op players actually want and play this on random days of the week and get together.
This has honestly been the situation that I think has been the best for a lot of gamers when it comes to being able to be socially interactive, because it seems like one of the very few games out there that people are, for the most part, because again, you're going to deal with dipshits all the time. But like, this is the first time in a long time that I've seen a game where you can just hop into a random lobby and you'll be able to have a good time with people, because everybody, again, who knew when it's a game and that's not about being competitive, people fucking work together. Who knew?
Yeah. It's just a fun co-op game. I remember the first co-op one I played. I was trying to get into your guys' server. I couldn't. It was when the game had just come out and it's having all those server issues. But I managed to get in with these 3 other people, and everybody was on voice chat. And we were actually just chatting. Nobody knew each other. We were 4 people that all got put together as individuals. No 2 people
And
had
it's
known
so
each
easy
other
to do
prior.
that because all you have to do is just basically shout for democracy and you're good.
Yeah. One guy accidentally threw a grenade at a charger. Charger ran away. He didn't know I was behind it, and I blew up. We both were laughing so hard. And he was like saying sorry, and I'm like, it's fine. I'm gonna probably end up doing the same to you. Like, it's just like this fun experience, right?
It's so distressing when I see stories about people like they're kicking, rookie players out when they're joining like harder missions, or if people aren't loading out with the right stuff, they're not putting them in there. It's like, guys, like, how obvious is it that this game is meant to be stupid fun? Like, that's where the part about this meta stuff is getting under my skin. Because it's like,
I can't
guys,
stand it.
this game isn't meta. This isn't here to be an optimal build game. This is here to go into this planet and try to survive. If you do, cool. If you don't, who fucking cares? Like, I've legitimately laughed my ass off when we utterly fail. Like, even at its worst, when we had those the first times we were really going through the rescue missions against robots, and you get utterly destroyed. I'm mad, but I'm also like laughing like mad because I'm just like, holy shit, this is impossible. And you're just giggling because you're like, we're getting fucking destroyed. Because
but it's fun.
We think it's funny. But there are some people that that they're the type that's like, I can't lose. I can never lose. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know if you guys have watched Starship Troopers because it's kind of based on this. People don't go solo and kill 1,000 bugs without dying. Usually you get a couple and then you're done.
Yeah.
So
you're
there for Destiny folks, there's no flawless raider award in this game. Don't worry about dying. You're fine.
Yeah, the dying's fun because then you get to see how ridiculously you died, and then apparently another person who happens to look exactly like you, another Helldiver, gets sent in, and you just show up, and then you get a chance to land your pod on a bug to get revenge as you're coming back in. Like, it's fun. It's fun to win and lose. It's going for the meta to me is just ruining the fun because you're no longer trying to have fun. The goal is to be perfect or bust, and that's
I think there should be an option that they would never do this as like one of those planet modifications, like how some of them can reduce visibility or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they would do one where your stratagems are randomized before you launch, not the one that they've now taken away to rebuild it, where it would randomize what you like. If you input for a railgun, you might get your autocannon or something like that. Like, not that. I mean, literally, when you start, you don't get to choose. It just picks 4 random stratagems, including ones you haven't unlocked yet. I think this would also be cool for people that haven't unlocked stuff yet, so that you could potentially get something you haven't used before and be able to try it. Now, it would specifically pick one from each category at least, so that way you're not getting shafted with like 4 weapons, because then you're screwed, right?
Yeah.
But it could say like, okay, make sure you pick 1 red, 1 blue, 1 green, and then randomize the 4th one completely.
Yeah. I love that.
And then that way, you just spawn on a planet, and it's, here's your equipment, make it work.
That would be so much fun.
Because also, it would make you use stuff you're not used to using, and you would get a better handle on some of these things. Like, I want to use the anti-tank rifle, but why do that when I have an autocannon? Like, that's the thing. They want to force people to use more stuff. Put an option in where you can randomize it. Say, like, oh, if you use this option, you'll get extra XP added to your bonus if you succeed. Like, do give an incentive like that. Say, okay, for each of you that roll at random, you add another, I don't know, like 5% each.
I like that.
Something like that. Like, just anything like that to try to get people to just go a little bit out of their comfort zone. Because, and I'm guilty of it too, I basically have the same launch every time I go web, depending on whether it's bugs or robots. It's almost always the same.
Yeah, mine is too, actually. But that's just because, like, I like what I like, and it's like, hey, I like using these. I'm going to keep using these. They're not the meta, I know that, but I like it.
I think what I might end up doing is just maybe I'll have a randomizer on my own thing, and I'll just randomize it at some point and just mess with it that way. Like, just do it myself, right?
Yeah, that'd be, yeah.
Just to kind of force a different change there. But, that's something that, maybe they could do down the road. I think it's just a neat idea to get people to actually try something instead of, complaining. Oh my god, this is useless. Why can't I use this? Or oh my god, they nerfed a railgun. What am I supposed to do now? I don't know. Try like anything else that you haven't used really, and just play around. Because it's a game. Who knew about playing the game and just trying stuff? What a novel concept.
Yeah, it's playing a game, not perfecting a game. Come on, guys and girls, gamers, just all you gamers. Come on.
Well, speaking of a novel concept, originally I ended up just bringing up the Helldivers thing, and that's taken up a bunch of time. I'll quickly just mention it now. People are getting pretty pissy about Persona 3 Reload because it's expansion pass that includes The Answer, which is the DLC that was included on Persona 3 FES back on the PlayStation 2, that it's being sold separately. Now, granted, if you're a Game Pass user, don't gotta worry about it. It's free. Just make sure you get it now, because who knows how long it'll be free. Just in case, maybe go look at that now. But it's being sold for, I believe it's $34.99 for Americans, so I think that's like almost $50 for us, which is pretty egregious for that DLC. I would say. It just begs the question as a whole. Does DLC? How do we price it? And I think the honest answer, and I'll ask you just to quickly respond to that. I don't have a problem, even in the case of this, because it's a remake. If they wanted to take this DLC and sell it separately still, because it sounds like they hadn't finished working on it yet and they were still putting the final touches on it, I would say at that point, just wait. But at the same time, if you're going to sell it, okay, well, it better be good. And my only thing is, okay, it's already something that we've played. Maybe $50 Canadian ain't the price tag. So, people are mad. I get it. My only thing is, I would be mad at the price, but not the practice. Because I think if it was like $15, there wouldn't be an issue. Because they've done, Persona fans have been used to this already. We got Persona 5 Royal not too long after the initial game launched, and we were paying full price for that again. Now, granted, I played the original, didn't care for it much, sold it, got most of my money back, and then got Royal for cheap later, and well, it was much better. So worked out for me. But I would also say, for folks that are mad about The Answer not being available for until you pay, a much steeper price, don't fucking play it, because it's actually not great. It's not a great DLC, so don't worry about it.
I wasn't expecting you to say that. So
unless they've improved it in the remake, don't bother anyway, because it's shit.
This is the best advice. I haven't played any Persona game, but this is the first one I will be playing. That just answered for me whether or not I'm even going to install.
Well, you can get it on Game Pass, so you might as well anyway, because it's free.
That's true. But if it's shit, I'm not going to waste
But if you had
time.
to pay for it...
Oh, I have to because of the achievements.
Yeah, let's not kid yourself. You Mr. Completionist over here. But no, the only thing I can say for certain is look, I don't have a problem with DLC. We've said this 1,000 times on the show. The issue is not that it exists. The issue is that it's priced horribly as a consumer.
Yeah. I'm definitely in the same boat. When I hear this story, I do not mind that this was made as DLC. It wasn't ready yet for game launch. This is a lot more work than people expect. It's not something they could include, and that's fine. DLC is DLC. It's fine. It's not necessary for the story and all that, apparently. But $50 for DLC is not okay. For me, that's way too close. That's Helldivers 2. In Canadian, Helldivers 2 is $49.99. That means it's even less in American. So how can that match just some DLC for Persona? There's no way that.
Oh, but it also comes with costumes and background music that you can use from the newer games. I'm like, yeah, that's not that important. Let's be real. Generally, when it comes to outfits, I don't actually understand the infatuation that a lot of games have, where it's oh, here's a costume from the old game or the newer game if it's a remake. You can have these characters dress up like your characters from another Persona game. To which I go, but why? That's not that character. That belongs to that character. It's another thing. Remember how Final Fantasy 13-2 had Mass Effect armor, or Lightning Returns had Cloud armor? That's a little different, because they're completely different things. Final Fantasy, yes, even though it is two Final Fantasy games, they're not remotely the same. But random shit like that, I'm down. That's interesting. But having like a Persona 3 character dressed up in a different school uniform from a character from Persona 4. Like, that's not interesting. I'm just wearing a slightly different jacket.
Yeah. If it was unlocked in game, sure, but like, yeah,
Well, even
that's
then, I
not a
wouldn't wear it.
selling point of DLC.
I'd rather have like what Yakuza does, where they have like a bunch of goofy shit where you can dress up as like the Onomichio mascot, where it's like an orange with a ramen bowl on its head and fish gloves.
That is the best. Yeah,
Like,
that's the best.
that's different. Now, granted, they do have you can dress up as different characters from the old series, but they have the wacky shit too. That's what I'm here for. I want the dumb shit. Don't give me,
Oh, yeah.
the most basic ass, oh, here's the same costume, but a slightly different tinge on the jacket and a different logo for the school. That's not a bonus. You cannot be charging me for that. So again, DLC, it just comes down to how you're pricing it. That's all. That's just the honest care in the world.
Yeah.
If this expansion pass was $20 at most Canadian, no one would be batting an eye at it. But because it's so much more than that, it's a little sketch.
Yeah, 50 is a big price for what it would include. Like, that is some Sonic Origins plus BS right there, where they're charging for like different menu music or something. Like, it's not. Yeah, like again, $20, sure. Or if they sold all this individually and it was like $1.99 per costume, sure, whatever. Because if people want to buy it, they'll buy it,
Helldivers does it pretty good. You want to buy one of the costumes and you don't have the currency? Put down like $3-4 for some currency and go buy it. Done.
Yeah, exactly. And no one can be upset because it's not necessary. It's reasonably priced for whatever you get.
And it's not even pay to win. Like, none of these things are gonna like suddenly make you like OP. It's just
Yeah.
It's more the cosmetic, because just by playing the game, you'll unlock an armor set that has the similar perks. It may not look as good as the one that you have, but that's, again, it's purely cosmetic at this point.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. I just think that if you're going to release DLC, like there's like The Witcher had like 2 giant pieces of DLC that were like combined for $25 Canadian or something. Like, you can't, and that's like 200 hours of extra content. You can't have like one small post credits story in a JRPG and charge $50 for it, because that's the only major addition to the game. You just can't do that. It's too much. You can't do it. $20 or include it. Like, you're gonna have to.
And even as a point, the DLC for Final Fantasy VII Remake, since we are still talking about that game, for intermission, it was $20.
Yeah, and that made sense. That was reasonably
I think
priced.
that was like a 10-hour ish DLC too.
Big.
So $20 US, that's pretty fair.
That was very fair. Very fair. That's where it makes sense. Even if this Persona thing is 10 hours of more content,
it's somewhere around like 15,
50
20 hours.
Yeah, so there's no way that's $50. That just doesn't add up. Like, that's
not when the game you're playing is like 4 times that.
Yeah.
If you actually like fully complete Persona 3, you know what? Let's even look at it right now. So how long to beat? I'm not even going to use the new version. I'm literally going to go through the old ones. So Persona 3, we go through the original. So the original, if you are just main story, that's it. 82 hours.
Wow. Yeah.
Let's see. Will
Or
let
for
me search
extra
up the
10 hours,
answer on there.
$50.
Yep, it will, and that is 30 hours. So when you do the math, you're taking like basically like $20-30 off, and you're getting a third of the content. Like, if you're pricing that based on the hours played, this should be something more akin to 25-30 at most.
Yeah.
And that's Canadian, by the way, not American. So we're looking at basically $20.
Yep. Makes no sense. That's not a pricing structure that, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if it's the game costs more, they're trying to get some money back, didn't sell as well as they were hoping. I don't know, but that's not the answer. Definitely not.
Well, speaking of, pricing that doesn't make sense, decisions that don't make sense, and, anything else, or speaking of the answer that they don't have, let's go on to our main topic. So, excuse me. We have Warner Brothers, who, as we know, just the smartest people in the room right now. Their games 100%. Are the best they've ever been. Their movies, especially with DC, the best they've ever been. There's not a single bad thing that these guys are pumping out right now. Not a thing. But also, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, did so well that what was the guy's title? It was specifically the gaming it says gaming boss of Warner Brothers Discovery, so that's already sketch. JB Perrette, he said straight up, we need to look elsewhere other than the AAA gaming market because it's become very volatile. He says that after Hogwarts Legacy, which is also a WB property, sold more than 22 million copies and became one of the best-selling games ever. And then, a year or so later, another game comes out that fails because who knew that a game that was designed to be a failure failed?
Yeah. Oh, God.
So the industry is volatile because you and your other people at the top of the staff there, JB, you done fucked up. It's volatile because you couldn't understand how the fucking business works. Maybe, maybe you should just find another place to work, son of a bitch.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Like, it's not volatile at all. Like, people, like last year, 2023 was like one of the best AAA games.
Yeah, I don't think Baldur's Gate is hurting from the volatile AAA single player market alone. He didn't even mention single player. He just mentioned the market as a whole. I'm like, I don't think developers are hurting. I don't think the Baldur's Gate folks are hurting. I don't think the Alan Wake guys are hurting. I don't think right now Square's hurting with how Rebirth is selling, although Square's always hurting because everything they do doesn't hit their metrics, apparently. So that's maybe a bad example.
But yeah, like Spider-Man 2 did well. I'm pretty sure Starfield even did well. I'm sure Microsoft can't even measure it because it's mostly Game Pass in there.
Well, and it's also the thing too of like these companies are looking at the failure of one game to account for all of their other bad decisions or all of their other like things that, maybe didn't go as well as they did. Again, like Sony talking about, how they may have to consider different options. Well, no shit, guys. You put out a couple of games that cost a lot to make, and then you also tried to make a game in The Last of Us. Oh my god, what was it supposed to be called? The multiplayer one they were going to do.
Oh yeah, Factions or something.
Yeah,
like
Factions.
Yeah.
I kept wanting to say Legends. I'm like, no, this isn't Fable. Of course, you guys are going to have some financial issues when you probably spent God knows how much on that fucking game. We knew Spider-Man cost what, like 300 mil?
Yeah, 300 million.
So like you think about a live service Last of Us game, they put some pretty pennies on that. So yeah, no shit, you guys are going to lose money. So Warner Brothers, JB, yeah, no shit, you're losing money because you probably spent $1 billion building Hogwarts Legacy because it spent like 2,000 years in development because it never happened. And sure, you sold really well, but that wasn't going to make up for like a 10-year life cycle that you took to develop that fucking thing. And then on top of that, you put out Gotham Knights, which didn't do very well, and you put out Suicide Squad, Killed the Justice League, that really didn't do very well. You know what? Even for fun, what's the Steam count currently on that game?
Oh.
How bad is that right now? Let's see.
If it's in the tens of thousands, I'm going to faint.
So, its all-time peak was last month, and it was about 13,000 and change. So this is right around when it came out. Its current players right now is 708.
Ooh.
That's Steam.
That's a hit. But I mean, if it's not good, who wants to play it?
Okay, now for extra fun. Batman Arkham Knight, which is a much older game. I hate SteamDB because sometimes it doesn't do what I want it to do the first time. It showed me the pricing. I don't care about the pricing. Pain in the ass. Driving me nuts right now. Give me the thing I want. There we go. All right, so Chris, we're going to make this a game.
Okay.
First off, do you think Arkham Knight, which came out more than... Is it going to show me the date here? Not even important. You know what? The number is from 9 years ago for the all-time peak. So that tells you immediately how old this game is.
It was 2015.
So do you think that currently Arkham Knight has more or less than what Suicide Squad does, which is a game that came out less than a couple of months ago?
I have to say more. Because if it was me, I would play Suicide Squad and go, I hate this. I'm going to go back to the last time they made the good Batman game, and that would be the one I would go to.
So then here's the question. How many do you think they have?
All right. I'm going to say like double, like 1,400 if Suicide Squad's at 700.
Almost double that number again.
Really? Wow,
Almost
Suicide Squad.
2,500 players right now on Steam for an
Oh,
almost 10-year-old game.
yeah. And it's still like a story game. This isn't a live service where you have a reason to go back, which apparently is what fucking Suicide Squad is. Oh,
And just for fun, WB, because I like really sinking that in. Helldivers 2 is currently at a 290,000.
oh yeah.
Keep in mind, that's a live service game, guys. That's the thing you want it to be.
Just like Suicide Squad, they're both live service games of equal quality.
No, that's not true at all. Suicide Squad probably spent way more fucking money, so it should be higher quality.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Its budget was
Technically,
so much
Helldivers is
higher.
doing a better job with less.
Oh yeah. Oh,
So it brings back
Warner
the
Brothers-
conversation, obviously. And I'll even say the specific line that's quoted in this article that I got here from GameSpot. So, Perrette said WB's, or sorry, I'm on the right paragraph. Yeah, we are. Okay. So Perrette said WB's recent gaming output is focused on AAA games for console, and that's great when a game like Hogwarts Legacy sells 22 million copies and becomes the best-selling game of the year, but this kind of success is never guaranteed in what Perrette said was a volatile market. He pointed out that one of WBD's latest big games, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, was a disappointment for the company. That language right there. It's great that a game like Hogwarts Legacy can be one of the best-selling games of the year, but that success isn't guaranteed. Yeah, no shit, it's not. Because when you make a game that's objectively bad, no one's gonna play it. It's like, look, if you give me... Look, I don't actually like Hogwarts Legacy all that well, but I still won't call it a shined-up turd, because it's a little bit better than that. But, like, if you give me, a bowl of mid-tasting chicken soup, I'm gonna be like, all right, that's fine. I mean, I won't pay for that again, but it's not bad. But I'm okay with having had that once. And then you give me literal chicken shit, I'm not paying for it. So, and you're acting surprised that the chicken shit was not being treated like chicken soup.
Yeah. This analogy is fantastic.
I try my best.
I love every moment of this. This is exactly how I want to describe stuff from going forward.
Well, like that's the part that like how can you tell us that you have no idea what you're doing, or you do not want to take responsibility for the decisions that you and the board around you have made by telling me that you have no idea what you're doing and you are unwilling to accept that you made a mistake? That's the answer. Because they're also saying now that they may pull more of their bigger franchises into the mobile and free-to-play market, to which I go, so you haven't learned.
No, they haven't learned at all.
You basically just went, oh, so we can be Fortnite now, right?
Oh God, yeah. They can be foam stars. I don't even remember what it's called.
How many times does this lesson have to be taught? Like, did they not figure this out after World of Warcraft when so many MMOs died? Like, so many companies folded trying to catch that lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
And here we are. And everybody's trying to keep... Like, it's just a never-ending process. I'm now waiting to see all the companies that try to copy Helldivers and then end up completely screwing that model and not doing what Helldivers does right and failing and maybe having 1,000 people concurrent on Steam at most, and then they fizzle out and they die. And another studio closes down. Especially when it's being done by a big publisher who has no patience, because if you're not making them their profit margins and they have a big fat bonus check in their cards, they get mad, because that's the age we live in now, where it doesn't matter if there's any success. It has to be the specific success that we asked for 4 years ago when we started this project. That, we clearly had the right people that could make these decisions. And then when we had these targets done, we then later in the process decided, hey, why don't we fuck with this game some more and put even more microtransactions in there to try to maximize our profits, when we've had this lesson now for like at least 5 years that the more you do that, the less people are inclined to keep playing it, because why bother?
Oh, 100%.
Especially when we're talking console games. We're not even talking free-to-play games. It's one thing to talk about a Fortnite. It's another thing to talk about a Marvel's Avengers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, sure, like, I've seen people say the single-player campaign's fine, but you ain't playing it past that.
No. And it was fine. Like, the cutscenes were cool. the story for parts of it were good, but like the gameplay itself just still sucked. You more just were waiting to get to the next story point or cutscene. Like, these companies, yeah, I feel like they're not just grasping the fact of what companies I'm assuming used to do, which was, all right, let's make a quality product. And I hate to throw Nintendo in here, but like they're probably one of the few I can just think of off the top of my head where they still seem to have that requirement of quality before they put something out. And if a game is bad, they actually go like, yep, that was bad. That was on us. We should know better.
And they know
We'll
that
develop
too, which is why they continuously never sell these games for a good discount, because they know we are the best at this. You're going to play it. Like, if you're buying our console, you're playing these games. So give us the money, son of a bitch. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. But like they did the Wii U, they knew they screwed up. They stopped selling it. They took Iwata took a pay cut.
I was going to say the president of the company took half of his salary, I believe. I'm not mistaken.
He didn't write an article about it being a volatile market, and
he didn't lay off all the staff
and lay off all the staff. No, he was the one in charge. He should have known better. He took a pay cut, and they then made the switch. They were like, we have to make something better and right our wrong. We have a cool idea that we've implemented horribly. Let's think of something else, which it led to the switch. And at that point, it's a company, just a gaming company, where they're like, listen, if you don't make a good product, people aren't going to buy it. And that obviously, yes, they stick to our games are worth $80 Canadian, and they always will be, maybe even 90 now. And they're never putting a discount on it. And if they are, it's 33% because they are the Apple of gaming software, and they don't believe it ever going properly on sale. But at least they know, as a gaming company, first and foremost, that is what you're supposed to do. You create a quality product, and then people will follow. You make a Super Mario Wonder, you make it flawless, it runs great, it looks great, all of that, and you're going to sell and make tons of money on it. If you make just Suicide Squad because you're like, this is a franchise that makes money, and that's what it is.
Which it isn't, to be honest.
Yeah,
because the movies didn't do very well, which is also funny.
Yeah, like, first of all, their DC stuff hasn't been selling people on DC. But also they picked, like, not a great concept. Nobody, like, playing as the Suicide Squad, fine.
It could have worked. Like, if they did similar to what Guardians of the Galaxy did, it might have actually worked.
Yeah, it should have been something kooky and ridiculous. Like, they have to go up against, like, some ridiculous other supervillain, that kind of thing. Not like, all right, let's go kill all of Justice League.
Or just pick one of them.
Or, yeah.
Like, maybe it's just Superman.
Yeah. Like, they had a horrible idea. They made a game that does not look very fun to play, especially over a long period of time, and definitely not as a live service. Like, what the hell? Like, oh my God, it's barely a.
Because when I think about a game that I want to consistently play for hours on end, it's the Suicide Squad that I would love. You know what? I want to play as King Shark for 200 hours. That sounds like a great time.
Yeah, like, how did no one in the board think of this? But also the fact that they can't just be that self-aware that you've made a bad product using a bad idea and tried to force it into a specific pay model that people weren't stupid enough to just follow along with. And you're going to point fingers at the market being volatile. It's just that the market is smart enough to not buy your bullshit.
Which isn't always true, because we still have dumb people. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
They all look at Call of Duty, they all look at FIFA and Madden, and they go, well, see, there are people that will buy it every year no matter what they do. It's like, yeah, but you also understand how they got there, right? They didn't put out a bad product the first time.
No.
Call of Duty, in my opinion, didn't start actually going bad until the Modern Warfare trilogy was done.
Yeah.
People will say Modern Warfare 3 is when it started. I would argue Ghost is when it started.
Oh, yeah. I'd argue with Ghost as well.
And it's gone downhill from there, and people have slowly left since. I've come back to a couple. I can't even remember the last one. I'd have to literally pull up the list to see what the last one I played was.
I think the last one I played was Black Ops 2, and that was the story.
The last one I played a bunch was Black Ops 2. I played a little bit of World War 2 when it came out, but that didn't last very long.
Oh, no, sorry, I did that campaign, but I got it on a Humble Bundle. I didn't seek it out.
What's the last one I've actually played? Because I haven't played any of the new Modern Warfares that they did. Black Ops 4 was just a multiplayer game, so I never touched that. So it is World War II, and that's 7 years old now. So I walked away at some point. So it's not like it's, and I know that a lot of people have slowly done it too. Playing EA Sports games. I have not purchased an EA Sports game, I want to say since like 14, like NHL 14 maybe. Everything else has always been when it's on like a Game Pass or when it's a free game monthly on PlayStation. That's when I'll play them.
Yeah.
I have not bought an EA Sports game in that long. Because why? They're copy and pasted. Why have I not bought a Call of Duty game? Because they're essentially copy and pasted with a really garbage story in them.
Yeah.
Like they're not worth the money anymore. And people look at that in the industry and go, well, why can't we be that? Well, here's the starter, guys. Call of Duty had a track record minimum of 3 really good PC games, then moved to Modern Warfare on console for the 4th, and started another train of really good games for another 5-6 iterations.
Yep.
And then it started to decline. What happened with sports games? Sports games used to be the fucking greatest when we grew up.
Oh, yeah.
Like Sega Genesis era with, NHL and
94,
MLB
95.
World Series, NBA Jam. Well, NBA Jam doesn't really count, but NBA Live was still a thing on those days. FIFA Soccer was in those days, and it was fine for a while. Like, sure, there were games like that were iffy here and there on like the PS2 era, but like they were still perfectly fine games, and they were also adding things pretty well every time. It wasn't just roster updates back then.
Yeah, they were upgrading the actual engine and stuff console by console.
And adding new features, adding new, controls and things like that. And then eventually, around the 2010s, it started, and that's where I trailed off.
Oh, yeah.
But again, that's from the 90s onward, a good chunk of nearly 20 years of, sure, some of it could have been copy and pasted, but they were good games. Madden games used to get 8s and 9s every year, and they were legitimately 8s and 9s, not IGN 8s and 9s. And I say that half jokingly. Like IGN does a good job of, everybody makes the joke once in a while that they only give 8s. But they used to have a track record. WB, your track record for Suicide Squad is non-existent. No game has existed in that format before. You try to do something different with Gotham Knights, it also didn't do very well. So you're surprised that when you make a DC game that is not single player, that is not, a straight up linear story game with some open world elements like we got in the later games, you're surprised that you did something different and it didn't work. I mean, sure, props for trying, but it clearly didn't work. And your response to that is, oh, well, we got to do something other than this market specifically because clearly it's too volatile. No, motherfucker. You tried something that didn't work. There's no way. Like, this is where the whole, focus group testing thing gets into my head where I'm thinking, you're not actually testing random people. You're literally probably taking people in the office that don't know what the fuck they're doing. You probably found a bunch of people that never play video games, put them in front of this and be like, what do you think? They're like, I think it looks cool. Because they have no idea. They don't play for a living. They don't know what mechanics are supposed to be like. They don't know when things look egregious. And even if they did, they probably didn't listen. So either you made something and basically had a bunch of yes men tell you it was good, or you had a bunch of people tell you, no, this doesn't work. We should probably do this instead. And you said, yeah, but that won't make us as much money. So fuck you. So you made that call and it failed. And you're acting like it's the market's fault. So my idea to you, JB, is fucking leave, retire, quit, because this isn't your industry. Yves Guillemot, Mr. Quadruple A, this ain't your fucking industry anymore. Fucking retire, you grizzled, shitty old man. You fucking suck and don't know what you're doing anymore. Give somebody else the reins. They may fuck it up too, but at least we'll have a new set of eyes on it. Because I'm so tired of this industry being a bunch of crooked old, probably white guys that have no interest and no love for this industry and just want to make as much money so they can get their stock options and fucking retire on their yachts. Fuck you.
Yeah. It's all about the shareholders and the money and all this stuff it's not gaming. It's not what gaming is.
Why do you think we're supporting
is...
Helldivers right now? Sure, people are bitching left and right over the fucking tiniest thing, but at least they seem to love the game.
Yeah.
And at the very least, like, the developers seem like they actually have a passion for it. God forbid you actually love the thing you do.
Yeah.
And
like,
sorry, JB, I don't mean loving making money. That's not the thing you're supposed to
No.
be doing. Well,
No.
actually, yeah, that's a lie. That's probably is what your job is, to make the company money. Never mind. I retract that statement. I'm an idiot. I don't understand how capitalism works.
Yeah, I feel like when and I hate to bring it back to Nintendo, it's just the perfect example in my head. But most of the people higher up in Nintendo, like Iwata and stuff like that, when he was there, they were former developers. They were people in the industry doing that work, already making games. They know what sells, they know what's fun. And when the game's being developed and Iwata would go down and stuff and test out games, he wasn't testing it from I'm a CEO, will the shareholders like this? He was like, will Japanese gamers like this? Will North American gamers like this? Is it fun gameplay? Will they want to pick it up? Will this make them want to buy a system? Well, would I want to play this? Like, it was always from a developer's perspective. And that's why you get people like Shigeru Miyamoto and stuff like that, where it's just they clearly are passionate about what they love because they're still there doing it. And there's such a respect there because they keep delivering on what they believe is a good product. They know what's good. They don't deviate too much from it. They try new things. Obviously, there's not any company is perfect. The Wii U, the Virtual Boy, they all exist. But you get, Ubisoft, you get WB, and it seems like every single person who's getting interviewed and talking isn't even a gamer. Like, it sounds like they're just these business people.
It sounds
that
like we're
ended
just
up,
listening
like,
to PowerPoint
getting
presentations now.
Yeah, like that's it. It was like Bobby, whatever his stupid name is,
Bobby Kotick.
at Activision. At no point did I ever see that guy and think like, oh, he probably plays games on the weekend.
No, I know that his upbringing was that, like, he started out as a software engineer. I don't think he ever, like, made games though.
No, he definitely was just a guy that like, oh, electronics make money. I'm going to push electronics. And then ended up being this shithead trying to just make billions of dollars doing the minimal amount of actual quality and make it more about quantity. And don't get me wrong, there's so many developers and CEOs and stuff like with Xbox, like Phil Spencer, clearly a gamer, does make obviously mistakes. Xbox is kind of keeps tripping over themselves, but at least when they speak, I'm like, yeah, they got it. Sarah Bond, who's like taken over for, I don't know exactly what her role is at Xbox. I know she's taken on some of Phil's stuff, and I think she's basically going to be the person that steps in for Phil when he retires. She's fantastic because I've seen her post and stuff like that. Like, she's just posting pictures of her and like her kid or like on a plane. She'll even post like playing Switch and all this other stuff. Like, she's just a gamer that happens to also have worked their way up in a company in the section that makes sense for them and they enjoy it. So there are definitely people that talk and are like in these positions for gaming that, yeah, they're making mistakes, but I never look at them and go like, oh, it's because you were a greedy, business person.
Yeah, it's because passion means a lot to you. You don't have to necessarily be like a developer to suddenly know how to make like good games. Like, as a businessman, take a look at All Elite Wrestling with Tony Khan, he's basically the son of a wealthy businessman. He ended up his other stuff before he got into opening a wrestling company was he was working with the Jacksonville Jaguars and Fulham FC, but he was a massive wrestling fan as a kid. And when he finally got the stones to ask his dad to let him do this and give him the startup money to help out with that, granted, he has his own money that he can put into now, but like, he asked his dad for a little hand in getting it started. But like, he's not the businessman that you would expect, like, say, like an Elon Musk to be, where he's just a piece of shit and doesn't actually care about, what the company actually does. He just wants to make the money and look like a god. Tony legitimately is like one of the nicest dudes on the planet, seems to actually legitimately care about every little thing that company does. Not in the sense of like, he's fine-tuning everything to make sure it's perfect. It's more of just like, he's involved because he wants it to be as awesome as the people working for him want it to be.
Yeah.
And it shows.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because like, I watch both shows. I watch WWE and I watch AEW, and both of them are great shows, but I feel the passion more from their side because it feels more like they're trying to just have a great product rather than a product that's going to make them money.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's the thing with a lot of game development, where it's like, guys, it's not complicated. Like, I know that you want to make max profits, but like, you do understand that no matter what the concept is, you can make a good game out of it, but you have to try to have a little bit of fucking logic into this. You can't just take a game and go, let's throw a bunch of microtransactions in there and make the game so that they'll want to buy them and it'll work, right? No, it doesn't. It never works that way. Almost never works that way. And the ones that do, you're not going to beat them. Newsflash, guys, you're not beating Fortnite. Stop fucking trying. It took Square 2 tries. Actually, technically 3 because they had to redo 14. It took them 3 tries to finally dethrone World of Warcraft, and World of Warcraft isn't dead still. They're still the strong 1B.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
You're not gonna be Fortnite, and even if you are, it's gonna take a lot of kicking and screaming to do so, and we know how you guys all operate. You're not willing to wait for that.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad may have one day been the great live service game, but you already cut it off at its legs, and you'll never know. Look at what No Man's Sky has become. How long did that take? It took years of work because they believed in it. Most companies these days give it 3 months.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. And you can see this perfectly in like Fall Guys, where the game, when it was just the original developers, made a fun game. That was it. And it was ridiculous and it was colorful. It was never meant to do a lot except be this fun party game with up to 60 people competing in races. And then Epic bought it, and then they went the money route. They went the, let's make money off of this. Now. And it's shit. It is actual garbage now. The game has no love in it anymore. Even just going into the game, it's just loud of these microtransactions, and you got to buy this, and you got to do this, and like, hey, play so that you can possibly look at this costume and then pay real money to buy it. And it's just this garbage. It feels like this malware mobile game compared to the perfection that was where Fall Guys, where I actually bought the game for the $30 or whatever it was, very properly, normally priced game, that all of us were playing. All of us were playing it. It was like going around. And then Epic saw it and they were like, perfect, this is making a lot of money. We're going to buy it. We're going to make even more because we know how to monetize this. No, you figured it out with Fortnite, but you can't do it to everything else because guess what? You've killed Fall Guys.
And also, Fortnite didn't cost any money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sure, Warner Brothers, you want to take stuff free to play, go right ahead. But you still got to make a good game. Just so you guys know, you can't just attach free to play to something and it works.
No.
Because people have been trying that for a while.
Yeah. God. Yeah, these CEOs have no idea what they're doing sometimes, and it's very frustrating because they're not the ones getting laid off, and they're the ones taking home way too much money because they're making these shareholders, which they don't care about gaming. They care about whatever their stocks are worth. They bought a company that they've heard of, and it's like, oh, they usually release decent products. They own a lot of franchises. Yeah, I'll buy into that. Oh, the shareholders didn't make money. Oh, we better be angry. Quick, put out a live service game.
Let's go lay off 1,000 employees now.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous where it's like, why isn't the CEO getting laid off?
Take a pay cut.
Yeah, or take a pay cut. Like the
You'll
developers,
be fine. You're still making $1.2 million rather than 2.3. God forbid.
Yeah. Because there's no shade that I'm throwing at any developers here or you, because developers are not the ones making these decisions. And I have to imagine even the ones working on like Suicide Squad must have also been frustrated with the process.
Oh, that's why you saw people from Rocksteady leaving.
Yeah, like they saw what was happening. It's like, this is not what I want to make. I don't want my name on this.
Like, I legitimately do not plan to buy either Dragon Age or Mass Effect at this point because I don't trust BioWare because I've seen basically everybody leave for that reason.
Yeah. Terrifying. And yeah, if I see developers, especially good ones or writers on games and stuff like that, it's not just developers, it's like the actual creative teams designing this stuff. And then they're leaving. That's terrifying. If I saw everybody leaving Santa Monica Studio, they're making like God of War 3. That's not a good sign. That means that decisions are being made above them, and it's bad. Now, obviously, that one's not happening, and that seems to be a developer that still is passionate about what they make. But all these CEOs, or not all, I shouldn't say all, a lot of these CEOs of these really big AAA developers, it seems that them and the shareholders are just ruining what could be good products.
I've said this in private. I don't know if I said it on the show, but this is my hot take. I'll probably be wrong on this, and I hope I'm wrong on this. We're going to have a crash in 10 years. Now, I don't mean a crash like the 83 crash. That's not what I mean. We're not going to have a bunch of buried copies of Suicide... Actually, we should probably bury a bunch of Suicide Squad copies in the ground. Because, that's probably where it belongs. But in the next 10 years, the AAA gaming market at some point is going to have a major crash. And what I mean by that is sales are going to plummet so badly that indie games are replacing it, and it's going to be noticeable. Game Awards is going to be 4 out of 6 indie games. Noticeable.
Yeah. I completely agree with you.
I hope I'm wrong, because I think that should not ever be the case. But it's getting to the point now that enough companies are making these decisions badly. They're laying off enough employees. The AAA industry is slowly becoming one of the most miserable places to work right now. And something's got to give eventually. Because, let's be honest, gamers do not act fast enough to get companies to change their minds. Because enough of us bitch, it doesn't matter. The sales, by the time that they get their sales in, the writing's not on the wall until they see the end sales and go, oh shit, that's well under what we expected. So something's going to have to give. And whether that's, 2 AAA games the entire year actually make decent money. I'm not saying that every game is going to flop. I just mean obviously, Hogwarts Legacy probably made them a lot of money, but it probably also cost them a shit ton too in the end of it.
Oh yeah.
So you're going to see a lot of companies say, well, we profited, but that kind of reaction. Basically what Square does anytime a game gets released and makes 10 million copies sold, and they still bitch about it. But I think that's where we're going. Because, I've said it before where I think indie games are going to slowly start creeping up as being better overall, and more people are going to be playing those than anything else. I think Game Pass has accentuated that. And I think it's only going to get worse as it goes on for AAA studios as more and more people become exposed to this. Because again, and both you and I have talked about this, we both have Unicorn Overlord on our list too, which is a not nearly as well-known JRPG game that might be doing these better than a lot of other games are doing in the AAA industry. So
yeah,
some of that.
Games made with
Chained Echoes, Sea of Stars, there's plenty of JRPGs out there already that do the thing that we love better than most. And you take that's just one genre. We're not talking platformers where games like Celeste exist. We're not talking shooters or Helldivers now exist. We're not talking all these other genres that are clearly having cheaper and better options than their AAA counterpart. Or in the case of Skull and Bones, quadruple A counterpart. Shut the fuck up, Jeeves. I hate you. But yeah, it's getting to a point where something's going to give, and I can't wait to watch all of these companies mold. The problem is that also means a lot of people are going to lose their fucking jobs and they're going to be really pissed off about that because they don't deserve that.
Yeah. Nope. It wasn't them.
Bobby Kotick, Yves Guillermo, JP, whatever dumb fuck name is for Warner Brothers, because I've already forgotten your last name because you don't matter. You all should be taking pay cuts, but you don't because you're greedy pieces of shit. So get fucked. That's my response to you.
Yeah. God, I hate him.
Yeah. Any last thoughts before? Because I should probably stop amping myself up. We still have to do an immemorial for our side quests we have to record after this. I should probably not be angry going into this.
Yeah, I don't think angry is good. Yeah, this has definitely been the angry episode, everyone. Thank you for
It's your fault, Kaylan. This is what happens when you're not here. There's nobody to kind of calm me down. Because Chris is just gonna sit on the fence and be like, I agree.
I do agree. I actually do agree, though. I actually hate these fuckers, so I'm in with it. I don't think Kaylan would even get me just slightly on the one side of the fence. He won't be able to get me back.
Well, if that's the case, then we will shut this sucker off for the day. So obviously, thank you so much for checking out this episode. If you are listening to on any audio platform, obviously share that with all your friends. If you have the ability to give us a 5-star, do it. Give us 4 even. Be charitable. Give us at least 4. Come on, do it. Obviously, you're watching on YouTube. Like and subscribe. You have the side quest coming up in a couple of days. We are doing an in memoriam for Akira Toriyama, who passed away earlier this week, so we'll be talking about him. And obviously, Linktree/PixelPlay Podcast. That's linktr.ee/PixelPlay Podcast, where you can link to our socials, Discord, all that jazz. So we will see you next week, every Wednesday at noon Eastern and 5 o'clock on Fridays for the side quest. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye for now.